Hi, in this video we're going to look at components in Figma. So jumping back into our file, I am going to create a button. So it's not going to be pretty, but I'll create a button for this example. So let's just round the corners. Let's give it some text. Yeah, I think that's fine. Put that in the middle. So if I group those, Command and G, let's call this button 1. Okay, so to give an example first, before we create the component, this button is just a group. It's a text layer and a rectangle. Now I'm going to make some copies of the button. And as an example, let's double click on the background of this and let's change the color. So if I wanted to change the color on all of my wireframes or all of my designs, shall we say, I would have to go through and change them individually, and that would take ages. So can you imagine if you had 50 frames, different designs, and you've got to go around each and every design updating a button color? It's not very efficient. So I'm going to delete those. If I come back to this button and if I create it as a component, so clicking this icon up here, as you can see, it now changes slightly. So we've got a new icon and the frame around it kind of goes purple. And as you can see in the layers panel, it does the same. It's purple, it's got a new icon. So now when I copy out this button, it's copying out different instances of this component. So what's really powerful about components is if I want to change some text or a color or any of the designs, I can just change it in one place. So if I update the button color here, it updates across all the other copies that I've taken, which is really, really useful, and it saves a lot of time. So same with the text, let's change that to regular, and as you can see, it cascades and updates all the other buttons as well. You can go in on individual instances. So if you say wanted to override some changes, I'll just update the text. So just put updated in there for now. I want to change this to extra bold, and I want to change this color here. So as you can see, you can override the component settings for individual cases, but if you want to reset it and you've made a mistake or you don't like what you've done, you can right click and reset all overrides, so all the changes you've done, and then it resets it back to the default component that you made. If you wanted to make one of the buttons unique, or if you wanted to detach it from the component that you made, you can right click and detach the instance, and now when you're updating any components, so say we're updating this master component, we'll update the color, and as we've detached this instance here, it no longer updates, or it no longer gets the updates from the component. Another feature of components, if you click on one of the instances, so it's not the master component that we made at the beginning, but one of the instances. So if I update the color and let's make the text extra bold. If you really like this and you wanted it to, I guess, update all the other instances, or maybe you're not sure where your master component is, you can right click here and you can click on main component. You can either go to the main component to make the changes, or you can push the overrides to the main component. So these overrides, meaning these changes I've just made to this button, I want it to be part of my main component. So if I click push to main component or push overrides to main component, it then updates the master and all the other instances. Something else to consider when you've made loads and loads of different components, you probably don't want them sitting in all these random pages. So, you know, in our file, we've got mood boards, sketches, wireframes, designs. You don't want the components just scattered all over the place. It's probably best to have them in one central location so you know where to look for them. So I've created a new page here called Components. With our button, I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to move it to page Components. So go to my components page, and I guess as you build up your component library, you should send your components to a specific page or a specific place or a specific file so you can maintain and manage those components going forward. Okay, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.